Yo, what is happening? This is Shaya Yashub, and this is Mo Talk, where we are sports and Mo. But today we're going to stick with sports. At the end of week 9, a lot of questions and answers have been answered about several teams. One in particular, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think no one could have said it better than Dak Prescott as he was caught on the sideline saying that we effing suck. I concur, Mr. Dak Prescott. I do concur. We're going to unpack a 1 minute and 29-second video of Jerry Jones. We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. But before I do get into that, the beginning of week 9 started Thursday night with the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. Look, I got to start with this because I am born and raised in the 214. I am a Dallas boy. Okay, I was born in West Dallas. First 12 years of my life, I grew up in Pleasant Grove. That is my hood. That is what I claim. So by default, I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. I didn't choose it. It chose me. But now I'm living in Houston, Texas, and y'all think Dallas Cowboy fans are obnoxious. I'm sure it's not as many Houston Texans fans around the world as it is here in Houston, but man, living amongst these people, it is a different experience. Now, let this be known and understood that I'm not a Houston Texan hater, okay? But I'm not a fan by no means necessary. But there are some things that I do got to point out. There are some things that Houston Texans fans are going to have to learn, okay? One is that it's hard to assess what type of team you have into the playoffs. This is something that I was talking to an individual about the other day. Houston Texans is a very nice team, but here in the city, especially on some of these news broadcasts, they're trying to make these people believe that Houston is prepared to do a Super Bowl run. I disagree. I strongly disagree. This is the reason why I disagree. When you are in a division such as the Houston Texans, which is that AFC South, you are almost guaranteed to make it into the playoffs by default. You are in a very, very weak division. It's Houston, Indianapolis, and then the rest. Houston is by far the superior in the AFC South. No doubt about that. They are. But then you got Indianapolis Colts, which are 2 games behind Houston, Texas. Then you got Tennessee Titans. They only won 2 games so far. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've only won 2 games thus far. So when you get a national televised game on a Thursday night and the whole world is watching you and you are playing up against a New York Jets team who was dead in the water, I don't care who is their quarterback. If you want to prove to the world that you are going to make a deep run in the playoffs, you destroy the Jets. You destroy them. That's a game that you submit who you are. That is the game that you walk out of New York and you come back to Houston feeling good, because that's one of those games where you be like, hey, I told you so, but you did not do that. You did not do that. It's hard to say how good you are when you are playing in a division like the AFC South. Your true colors are going to show when you get into the playoffs. That's where your true colors are going to show. And I'm telling you right now, when that AFC, it is not going to be easy, by no means necessary. And I don't think that you guys are ready yet. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think that you guys are ready yet. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. These are all AFC teams that you are subject to have to look at when you make it into the playoffs. You got Buffalo Bills. These are great teams. These are teams that have everything that you have and maybe have a little bit more. So when you come across an inferior team such as the Jets, you win that game. And you don't just win that game, you win that game. You let the world know that we are not playing. I don't see Houston, Texas making a deep run in the playoffs. And I'm not saying that with my heart. I'm saying that just from my knowledge of football. And I could be wrong. Hey, I could be wrong. But time will tell. That's the good thing about time. It always reveals the truth. And if I'm wrong, time will reveal it. But if I'm right, time is also going to reveal that as well. Houston Texans are solid though. And yes, they are playing without two of their top receivers. But that's not an excuse at all when you going against a desperate New York Jets team. They was dead in the water. What you have done is you have given Aaron Rodgers and the Jets hope. They're still alive. They're actually still alive. They are actually still alive by numbers, by mathematics, by mere mathematics. The New York Jets are still alive. And God forbid that you have to come across them in a wild card game. Then what? You got to play that entire game or going up into the week of that game with it in your mind that when you went to New York, you let them beat you when you were supposed to have put them to sleep. That's just my assessments on the Houston Texans. I got assessments on other teams, but I'm not going to get into that right now because I got to get into this Jerry Jones talk. Jerry, I don't even know where to begin to get to talking about Jerry Jones. This is an owner who I feel like who is the stumbling block when it comes to this team. We had a terrible offseason, and the regular season is a direct reflection to what it is that he did in the offseason. I don't know if the owner of the Dallas Cowboys is suffering slight dementia, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I don't know if he's stuck in time. I don't know if he is still holding on hope for what has happened to the city and to the Dallas Cowboys over 30 years ago. I have absolutely no idea what he is doing, but if he really cared about the team, if he really cared about the city, if he really cared about winning, Jerry, no one would have to convince Jerry to step down. Jerry would be able to look into the mirror and he would just step down and turn the keys over to the Lamborghini to someone who actually knows what they're doing, because at this time, Jerry is driving at 100 miles an hour with a blindfold on. And he's headed for suicide. Let's get into this video. Let's unpack this video. It's a real short video. And to make it real easy, I put my notes as well on the screen. And we're going to unpack this thing. Let's get it.
Update on Dak and the severity of his injury?
No, the hand issue is not an issue. Told him that we have no way of ascertaining how much that hand, it's a high one, but other than that, I don't know where it is. Just any team in the NFL can do you in. This is not a good time. I really regret this for all of our Dallas Cowboy fans. I will tell you this, that I've been around.
All right. Note number one, he's lying. He just said that he really regret this for all of the Dallas Cowboy fans. Jerry, I call BS on that. You do not regret this for all of the Dallas Cowboy fans, because when you had the opportunity to right this ship in the offseason, you chose not to. At the moment that you decided that you was going to make Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback in the entire league, your next job after that was to secure that with a stud running back, a luxury. Give him the luxury of being able to have a running game that was going to take some of that pressure up off of him. You made him the most lucrative quarterback in the league, but you didn't give him anything to work with. During the whole offseason, I'm seeing pictures of Derrick Henry in Dallas Cowboy uniforms. People out of Derrick Henry's camp was letting the world know that Derrick was wanting to come and play for the Dallas Cowboys organization, and everybody in Dallas was all excited about Derrick. The way that it seemed in the offseason, the only thing Derrick Henry needed was a phone call from the front office of the Dallas Cowboys to make this thing official. But your response to that was, we're going to bring Ezekiel Elliott back. Ezekiel Elliott at this particular time, if I'm not mistaken, he is probably the lowest ranked running back in the league. And if he's not, he is in that basement with the ones that are. Ezekiel Elliott have not given any production whatsoever. In fact, when Ezekiel Elliott touched the football, it almost looks as if Ezekiel Elliott don't want to play football, but this is who you chose to bring back. You cannot say that you feel bad for the fans of the Dallas Cowboys. Because if you did not know this logic, okay, I'm going to pay Dak, and we got a stud receiver in CD Lamb over there. What we need to do is up our running game to keep the defense honest. That would help Dak out tremendously. Then we can start talking about making deep runs in the playoffs. But no, that's not what you did. And then when we hear from Derrick Henry, now that he is breaking all kinds of records in Baltimore, his camp is saying that no one from the Dallas Cowboys even contacted him. And your response to that was, well, we couldn't afford him. Jerry, you have the most lucrative team in all of sports. No brand is more expensive, more revered than the Dallas Cowboys. There is no such thing as the Dallas Cowboys cannot afford. You took the cheap route. My mama always told me that you get what you pay for. This is a direct result. And as a fan, Jerry, I have defended you throughout the years, but I cannot defend you anymore. Your decision making in the offseason was garbage. And if you did not know any better, Jerry, if this was a case of you really thought that you was doing the right thing, if that is what you truly believe, Jerry, that you were doing the right thing by bringing Ezekiel Elliott in and not going after Derrick Henry, then it's time for you to give up the keys. You get to a point where your grandmother, your grandfather get too old to drive, and you got to make that hard decision to take the keys from them, because every time they get in the car just to go around the corner, you are scared because you just don't know if they're going to make it or not. This is where Jerry is at right now. So no, Jerry, you're lying. I call BS on that. Let's get it, Jerry. What else you got to say?
I'm saying Michael Irvin tore up and cried when he couldn't lose anybody because he's just recovered from knee surgery. Yet his ass came back and led a team to 3 Super Bowls. I know you can be there. There, that he's full of guys that get it done. I believe that coaches and all. Thank you.
What do you attribute to a lot of these pre-snap penalties and the discipline issues that you're seeing?
Well,
all right. He got to talking about Michael Irvin the year that he got hurt. And yes, he did come back off of that knee surgery, and we did win a Super Bowl. I remember that. But Jerry, that was over 30 years ago. You're going to have to let that go. The past is exactly where it's at. It is in the past, Jerry. We are now living in the present. And to be honest with you, the NFL is not the same as it was back then. The players that are in the NFL are not the same type of players that it was back then. You cannot continue to believe that the team that you have currently can be compared to those Cowboys of the 90s. And I'm really shocked that you even remember that myself, because look, I was there. I was part of the parade downtown after we won all of those Super Bowls in the 90s. I was there. There was a feeling like none other. But it was so long ago, Jerry, even myself have a hard time remembering what that felt like. We have went through a series of seasons, a series of good defenses with no offense, a series of good offense with no defense. We done went through the Tony Romo era. We went through was it Quincy Carter era. We went through all of these different eras. All of these different eras. Now we're in the Dak Prescott era, whom I do not believe that he deserved the contract that he got, but yet you gave it to him going back to note one, and you did not even try to make his job easy. CeeDee Lamb crushed the league last year. He crushed it. So you really believe that Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb can come back and duplicate what they did last year after 29 teams got tape on what they did last year? You really think that they're going to allow them to do that to them again in a following year? No, Jerry, you're wrong. We're a one-dimensional team. Now CeeDee Lamb is hurt. Dak Prescott is hurt. Micah Parsons hurt. Whole city hurt. You hurt. Here it is that you in front of the camera talking optimism from something that happened 30 years ago. Jerry, get off that gas or get on some gas. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if you own it, need to get off of it, or if you not own it and you need to get on it. But whichever one it is, you need to do the opposite, because right now, at this point, right now, Jerry, mathematically, we are still alive too. But Jerry, your players done gave up. Mike McCarthy, garbage. And to note number 3, it's not players in that locker room that got the caliber or the heart that the Cowboys had 30 years ago. Because they don't have the level of success that those guys have. They don't know what it feels like to win big games. They're not hungry to get back to something that they have achieved earlier. They are not even on a cusp of something great right now. Our next game is a division game against Philly. And everybody know the division games are hard to bet on. They are hard to gauge because division games are always a wild card. It's a 50-50 shot. But Hurts and Philadelphia Eagles, you in the same situation that Houston was in when they played the Jets. You ought to come in and crush the Cowboys. Put them to sleep. Night, night. Whatever little hope that the Cowboys have, your job is to snatch that away from them. Because when we had the opportunity to become contenders, we did not. We're sellers at this point, Jerry. We are not buyers. Do not try to salvage this. This is garbage. Do yourself a favor, do the team a favor, do the whole city a favor, and turn the keys over. He had more to say. Let's get it.
I attribute the loss to that. That'll take the air out of you. It's too close for that in the NFL between the teams. It's just too close. And you can't do it, especially do it a lot.
And this is the thing. This is what Jerry is failing to realize. And I don't know who else in the organization is failing to realize it as well. And I wished I had that video clip of Dak Prescott when he was on the sideline because he said it best. I do have it. I just don't have it queued up. I won't be able to get it queued up, and I wished I had thought about it earlier because I would have had it. But Dak said it best. He said, "We effing suck." I'm glad that somebody knows this here. And now this is the thing. Dak is hurt, his hamstring. He's going to be out indefinitely, they say, right? So we know he's not going to be available next week. We don't know how long he is going to be out. We don't know. Our defense is in shambles. Everything. Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush. It's time for Cooper. Cooper came in and went 5-1 the last time Dak was hurt. Cooper, this is a great time for you to increase your stock. This is a great time. We don't know if CeeDee Lamb is going to be available because of his shoulder injury. We don't know. But Cooper got an arm. Cooper made great decisions. Cooper played like he wants to start somewhere in this NFL. Cooper could come in and he could put hope or fire up under the rest of the roster. He could very well do that. I'm not saying that he's going to do it, but he could very well do that. But at this particular time, even if we were a talented team, the hope has been sucked out of us, which makes us a team that suck. Jerry, if you're going to get in front of the camera, at least tell the truth. We suck right now. Last point. Let's get it.
And I was proud of the way the guys competed out there. A lot of the guys, really proud of them. Like the way that running back played the game tonight. Give him some love because he played hard and he played good.
That's my assessment on this video. My last note, I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's number 5. It says that Jerry is the problem. Jerry is the problem. And as soon as Jerry realized that he is the problem, the better off the Dallas Cowboys and the entire city would be. This is Mo Talk, where we are sports and Mo. I thank all of my new subs. You have allowed me to make it to 500 subs. I know that's not a lot in the world of YouTube, but I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate it. If you find value in my content, share it with others so we can continue to grow over here. And I promise you that my job is to always bring you the best content where I talk sports and Mo over here. Y'all get at me. All of my Cowboy fans, even the Cowboy haters, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. Till the next time. Shalom.